Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Infinite Shadow Split. Chapter 21. Tang Gao helped Lu Ren upstairs, lying on the table to finish today's lesson. After school, Lu Ren took out the nutrient solution, just drank 2 sips, suddenly tasted back, turned his head to look at Tang Gao. Brother Tang, why aren't you tired? Quote. In the past, Brother Tang should be tired into a dog and lie on the table. Why is he so spirited today? Tang Gao felt his state for a moment, and waved his hand with a smile. You drink the nutrient solution, you see that you are tired and weak. Lu Ren's face turned red. Fart. I'm a 9-dan battle chi. Quote. Lu Ren is the wind system sword chi, the superior attribute of the battle chi system, and he is an excellent cultivator. Tang Gao smiled and looked at the nutrient solution he was holding in his hand. Lu Ren had a toothache, and then looked at Brother Tang's breezy appearance, feeling outrageous. Why did Brother Tang change so much after he awakened his battle chi? Lu Ren suddenly remembered a stubble, and took out a bottle of nutrient solution in his bag. My father said it to you, Brother Tang. Tang Gao was surprised for a while, but he didn't expect Uncle Lu to do things surroundly, and took it. Thank your father for me. No, my dad said this is for you, and let you grasp my martial arts lightly. Tang Gao smiled. You, hurry up and drink. After drinking, we will go to the sparring. Lu Ren sighed, drank the nutrient solution resignedly, and breathed another breath for his life. As always, the two first went to Lu Ren's house to practice, and then Tang Gao went home alone. Uncle Lu was basically not at home because of his busy work, and Lu Ren and his mother did not have time to manage the 2 sons, so busy that they only made a phone call to let the 2 brothers simply cook some food by themselves. Tang Gao returned home, relaxed on the sofa, opened the doppelganger panel, and looked at today's hang-up income. A large word, death, hangs above the gray picture. The headless body of the violent messenger of justice is lying in a pool of blood. His head is 3 meters away, a police cordon is pulled up, and the official convoy and ambulance convoy are waiting not far away. A group of people with furious faces stood not far from the corpse of the violent messenger of justice and cursed. A question mark slowly floated on Tang Gao's head, and he began to pull the progress bar of the video recording, and the text record on the side also began to slide up. Huh. How did it die? Quote. At about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the violent justice messenger was hanging up to complete a 2-star mission to catch a group of human traffickers, and when he was halfway through, his neck was broken with a special sniper rifle. The head charged out from the neck on the spot, and the body fell asleep on the street, and the quality of sleep was quacking. Tang Gao was speechless for a while. I didn't offend anyone. Who is this, so lacking in morality? Click. To expand the transcript on the side. The killer hired by Clover Group kills your number 1 shadow avatar. Video is also very intimately enlarged, and then enlarged, and a sniper muzzle in a window 500 meters away is circled, and a blurred photo of the sniper is pasted next to it. Tang Gao suddenly realized. Oh, because I spoiled their good deeds, so I killed this spoiler. Quote. Good man. Seeing that my doppelganger was busy so hard, he directly let him die violently to rest. You send me baby-like sleep, and I send you baby-like sleep. Tang Gao directly clicked to receive the proceeds, and then chose to resurrect the violent messenger of justice, pointed to the blurred appearance of the sniper in the video, and in a northeastern accent, him. Kill him. Give me the employer information. The violent messenger of justice came out of the shadows under Tang Gao's feet, looking at the sniper appearance in the video, and anger flashed in his eyes. Obey the order, Your Excellency. Tang Gao was surprised. Lie in the groove. Can you speak? Quote. And lo and behold, make the children so angry that they can talk. Hey, oh, I almost forgot, the violent messenger of justice has long had life. The violent messenger of justice was so angry that his nose was crooked, and he half knelt on the ground. Please help me, I want to avenge this blood revenge. Quote. Dying under a black gun, this is extremely humiliating. Tang Gao rolled up his sleeves. Of course I want to him, but... Wait a minute, can you change your look? The violent messenger of justice raised his head and looked puzzled. Yes, but what do you do with a different appearance? Tang Gao stroked his chin. The main thing is that the resurrection of the dead is too terrifying. You just change your appearance a little younger and call yourself the 2nd generation. Quote. Of course I don't think it matters, but I don't think other people can stand it. The violent messenger of justice felt that it didn't matter, and changed it slightly with his camouflage skill, looking extremely young, like an 18-year-old mature muscle boy. Well, the original version of the 18-year-old young version. Tang Gao was stunned for a while, but he didn't expect that such a look would be so convenient to change. You are too young to change, right? The violent messenger of justice looked at him suspiciously. Your Excellency, is there any problem? Forget it, no problem, you go after and kill this guy. If you don't kill this guy today, I'm not in the mood to do a task. Okay, subordinates will chase and kill. Yangfu Street. It is rumored that a few decades ago, there was a cultivator who started with painting, and after decades of cultivation, he was quite successful, and when the demon clan invaded, he successfully dragged down thousands of demon clans by painting mountains and rivers, and bought valuable time for the Shanzhou defense line. Therefore, the calligraphy and painting business here is particularly good, and it is a paradise for art students. But on the street of Yangfu Street, a body is lying on a police cordon, and not far away, a group of traffickers are handcuffed by police and locked next to the convoy. Liu Shoshan was so angry that he cursed. The Clover Group is really lawless. Dare to kill people on the street. It's killing the person we want to reward. Head, we don't have proof yet. Liu Shoshan glared. Evidence. What evidence do you want? How many people in this city dare to do this? I just offended the Clover Group yesterday and died on the street today, what more explanation? The team members did not dare to speak, so they had to bow their heads and be scolded. After Liu Shoshan finished his fire, he turned his head to look at the corpse, and felt sorry, such a good person, just gone. It's a pity. Hey, yes, there is no cultivator who backs the mountain, and colliding with this giant crocodile, there is only one way to die. Yes, the Clover Group has been too arrogant recently, and General Liu dares to do this here. Isn't this pure demonstration? It's abominable. When Liu Shoshan heard this, he turned his head to look at them. Everyone immediately stopped speaking, not daring to say more. Liu Shoshan looked around and said slowly, "Tell the people in the team to slow down the investigation of the Clover Group next, keep a good distance, and don't get too close." Captain, isn't this a soft submission to them? Liu Shoshan shook his head. No, I'm afraid that when they die, blood will splash on you. Clover doesn't know who it's messing with. When that great power discovers this, the end of the Clover Group will come. From beginning to end, the Guardian Bureau did not leak the information of that powerful person in the slightest, for fear of provoking the displeasure of that powerful person. The only people who knew about the powerful existence were the high-ranking members of the Guardian Bureau. The high-level officials of the Guardian Bureau will not kindly remind the Clover Group that they have provoked a mysterious power. General Liu couldn't see the slightest bit of a foot, and he couldn't see the slightest trace of a spell, which was enough to see that this great power was accomplished in spells. Captain, the corpse is disappearing. Liu Shoshan turned around and saw that the corpses and blood stains on the ground were slowly disappearing, and a smile appeared on his face. The Clover Group is over. Let you be arrogant and wait for death. Chapter 22. In the spacious high-rise room, the curtains were drawn, and the sunlight flowed in only through the gap, falling into the suitcase with the gun on the floor, and the black gun body swallowed the sunlight clean, which was not like an ordinary product. The killer is patiently cleaning up the scene, and even has the leisure to observe the scene in the distance with a telescope, reporting to the boss in the headset. Hey, those fools from the Guardian Bureau actually thought that the people who offended the Clover Group could survive. The Red Hand Organization, a well-known killer organization in the dark world, will take on various tasks for money. As long as the money is enough, it is willing to do anything, at least when it comes to external propaganda. The headset came the chatter of superiors and companions in the channel. A non-mainstream cultivator without a background really thinks that he can be a hero with a little ability, and he doesn't want to think about who he provokes. Gee, the Clover Group stomped its foot, and the entire Liangcheng had to tremble 3 times. This cultivator is really looking for death. Shotgun, report the intelligence and withdraw it quickly, so as not to be caught. The shotgun disagreed. Can they still make a big move for an unruly cultivator? Theoretically, no. The shotgun heard the voice, put down the binoculars, pressed the headset, and was curious, actually. The Guardian Bureau just sent out the reward report to this monk 5 hours ago, and they value this monk very much. Cold sweat broke out on the shotgun's forehead. A briefing an hour before I went on my mission. Quote, killing a non-indecent cultivator won't be a big problem. But if you kill the person who rewarded the report of the Guardian Bureau, this matter will be a big deal. Yes, I suggest you withdraw quickly. I checked the recent movements of the Guardian Bureau, and it seems that I want to make a move against the Clover Group. The shotgun cursed unluckily, hurriedly closed the suitcase on the ground, picked up the suitcase and quickly rushed to the door, putting on the hat by the way to cover his face. You shouldn't be greedy for money to take on this task. The shotgun hurriedly swiped the card to open the door, rushed out, and saw a teenager in familiar black armor in the corridor opening the door of the room one by one, politely asking the occupants inside. The shotgun was surprised. The door of this room had to be stuck to open. How did this kid open the door? Looking closely, I found that this little young man directly screwed off the doorknob and opened the door to check. The residents inside were also very polite, patiently answering the questions of this young man who trespassed into the room. The shotgun cursed in a low voice, sick. After scolding, the shotgun lowered the brim of his hat and prepared to go around the teenager to the elevator. When the young man heard the movement, he turned his head and looked at the shotgun, with a bright smile. Ah, it turns out that you are here. The shotgun was startled, and hurriedly raised his head and looked at the teenager, only to find that the appearance of the boy seemed to be somewhat similar to the target he killed. It's so similar, it's like it's carved out of a mold. The shotgun's pupils shrank sharply, quickly retreated, felt the pistol from his waist, and shot directly at the teenager. The pitch-black hideous armored boy tilted his head and said with a smile, the mission begins. Revenge mission, begin. ... The shotgun stood in front of the window, and the ridicule of his companions came from the headset. You're done. The Guardian Bureau issued a reward notice an hour before you performed your mission, and you hit the Guardian Bureau in the face. Beads of sweat appeared on the forehead of the shotgun, and he swallowed. What's going on? Magic. Quote. Why are you standing here? Didn't I just kill a teenager in the hallway? Behind the shotgun came the clatter of sour teeth, followed by the dull sound of booming metal objects hitting the carpet. The shotgun turned around and saw the blood-eyed black armored boy, who was pushing open the door, and the metal doorknob was broken in half and lying on the carpet. The blood-eyed black armored boy gently closed the door and smiled at him. Don't panic, take a deep breath, normal phenomenon. The shotgun hurriedly drew his short sword from his waist, cold sweat broke out on his forehead, and stared at him. Abominable. Quote. When exactly did I get into the illusion? Shotgun, what are you talking about? The shotgun looked nervous, and his speech was fast. I have fallen into illusion, you come and support me. Quote. When performing tasks, shotguns used to bring an assistant to press the formation to provide themselves with auxiliary effects. Illusion. What illusion? I didn't check for illusion fluctuations. The blood-eyed black armored boy said in a flat tone. Don't panic, in this reincarnation, only the memories of you and me will be retained, so we have a long time to communicate. Quote. The shotgun didn't pay attention at all, directly intensified the psychic spell to strengthen perception, found that the enemy was standing in front, directly threw the short sword, and at the same time drew the pistol from the waist to fire rapidly. Boom. One shot to the left chest, one shot to the right chest, one shot to the eyebrows. The shooting method is standard and elegant. The blood-eyed black armored boy fell to the floor on his back, calmly opened his eyes, blood began to flow from the center of his eyebrows, and the quality of sleep was rattling. The shotgun breathed a sigh of relief and smiled slightly. Pretend to be a ghost, can you help me see, is there any contact with illusion? Quote. Quote. Shotgun, I don't know what you're talking about, I didn't check any spell fluctuations. The shotgun frowned. It can't be. Well, the shotgun stood by the window with binoculars in hand, and behind it came the familiar clicking and rumbling sound. In the headset, a familiar ridicule voice came from the companion. You're done. The Guardian Bureau issued a reward notice an hour before you performed your mission, and you hit the Guardian Bureau in the face. The shotgun turned his head with cold sweat on his forehead and saw the blood-eyed black armored boy gently closing the door, showing a calm smile to himself. As I said, we have been able to communicate for a long time, can we calm down and say what information you know? The voice is gentle, but but as merciless as the death bell. The shotgun did not hesitate, directly took out the pistol and pointed it at his chin, and hurriedly shouted, "Retreat quickly." The other party used a high-level spell. Boom. The shotgun felt black in front of him, and his consciousness sank into infinite darkness. It turns out that death is this feeling. The world in front of me lit up again. The sunlight outside the window flowed in through the gap in the curtain, fell on the pupil of the shotgun. The telescope at hand was standing quietly on the windowsill, and the familiar ridicule of his companions came from the headset. Click. Boom. The ruthless voice sounded. The shotgun turned around, his pupils trembling, his expression shocked, and looked at the teenager. The teenager moved a chair and sat down, looking at him calmly. "Now, are you in the mood to elaborate?" The shotgun took a deep breath. "If I say so, can you let me go?" "I can let you die." Silence brewed in the room. Long. The shotgun nodded bitterly. "Good." Quote, "The Clover Group is stupid. This time actually kicked such a hard iron plate." It also said that there was no background. Is this called no background? Chapter 23. Puzzled by his superiors, companions, and assistants, the shotgun told everything he knew. Tang Gao didn't bother to identify that this information was correct, so he directly killed the shotgun and went to the branch of the Clover Group to find the guy who issued the task. Shotgun didn't know who sent the missions, but he knew who would post them. Interests, can't hide. There is a Dongmu River next to Liangcheng Tianma Avenue, and near this river formed by snowy mountain water, the Liangcheng government has specially divided this place into a medical incubation base to provide Liangcheng with a steady stream of medical resources. At the beginning, Clover Group accepted the invitation, enjoyed policy support here, and became a leading enterprise in one fell swoop, driving the vigorous development of the local pharmaceutical industry, and becoming a pillar enterprise in the pill medicine industry, providing countless jobs for the local area, and becoming a distinguished guest of the Liangcheng Pill Association. But recently, the branch of Clover Group is struggling with one thing, and the public relations department has stayed up for a day, thinking of more than a dozen plans and not satisfying the top boss. The Clover Group used many connections to slow down the speed of the Guardian Bureau's announcement of the Blood Fury Servant case to the outside slightly, and even took the initiative to spend money to break several explosive news, in a vain attempt to cover up and distract everyone's attention to the Blood Fury Servant case. As long as the public opinion is controlled, this matter is dragged back, and then the relevant personnel are found to operate, many things will soon be forgotten by everyone, and Clover Group is still the leading enterprise of elixir in Liangcheng. In the president's office of the branch, Wei Xing looked at the information in front of him with a gloomy face, and the assistant to the president stood aside, looking uneasy. Wei Xing exhaled. "So, the Guardian Bureau doesn't know what crazy happened, so he wants to fight us for this matter." Quote. "Yes, President, I don't know what's going on. Those high-level officials don't even collect our money, their mouths are tighter than the other, and they don't reveal a little information to us." Wei Xing couldn't help but slap on the table. These sons of bitches have such fast hands when they collect money, and they don't speak when they should spit it out. What about the president of the Elixir Association? He didn't speak either. The assistant wanted to cry without tears. When the Blood Fury Servant case happened, his mobile phone could not be contacted. Wei Xing stood up and paced back and forth with his backhand, his expression slightly anxious. "It seems that we are in big trouble, otherwise their mouths would not be so strict." "What about the headquarters? Any reply?" The assistant hurriedly shook his head. "The headquarters did not reply, but your sister sent you an urgent message using a secret channel, just now." Wei Xing's heart was shocked, and he hurriedly looked at him. "Tell me carefully, what did my sister post?" The assistant hurriedly took out his mobile phone and read out the message. "General Liu recently applied to his superiors to investigate a mysterious powerful movement. Brother, you may have hit General Liu's muzzle." Wei Xing gasped and felt bad. Obedient, it shouldn't be General Liu's investigation of mysterious power, just happened to run into me. Quote. "This bit of, if you don't weigh 4 or 2, you can't stop it if you weigh 1,000 pounds. General Liu's function is completely at odds with what he did, and this is the trouble that money can't block. No wonder the president of the Pill Association and the high-level officials of the Guardian Bureau are tight-lipped." Wei Xing breathed another sigh of relief. Fortunately, General Liu has no foundation, and this matter will be solved after a delay. Quote. General Liu comes from the military system, and now is the time to be in full swing, but it is precisely because he is innocent and has no foundation, and this matter is easy to solve. Interests are related, there are some things General Liu still can't investigate. Drag it out. Drag what? The boy's voice sounded in the doorway. Wei Xing looked over and was furious. Who let you in? What about the guards at the door? What do you eat? Tang. Gao pushed the door open, and the bodies of the two guards poured in, and two blood flowers bloomed at the center of his eyebrows. And in his hand, he is carrying a shotgun carefully maintained modified sniper rifle. Tang Gao raised his sniper rifle, aimed it at Wei Xing, and sighed, "Don't say it, your local garrison force is still quite strong." Quote, "If I hadn't been in disguise, I wouldn't have been able to walk here." Walking to the president's office, the vigilance force is stretched to the fullest, and he personally strikes, and he can't solve it quickly at all. These two guards have third-order cultivation, and in close combat with them, it is easy to lose quickly. However, it is good that in this world there are unpretentious, modified Friar sniper rifles. Pull away from them, prevent them from detecting killing intent, and pull the trigger. It turns out that the cultivator's version of the modified sniper rifle kills indiscriminately in front of first to third order cultivators. One shot for a child, fall asleep quickly, without side effects. Boom. As soon as the assistant made a change, a flower bloomed at the center of his eyebrows, fell to the floor, his eyes were round, and he walked very quickly. Wei Xing did not dare to move, and a smile appeared on his face. "Sir, I will pay double the price to buy my life." Tang Gao controlled the violent messenger of justice, and said lightly, "Ye is happy, I will kill you for free today." Wei Xing broke out in cold sweat, and his face turned pale. "My father is an executive of Clover Group." Tang Gao thought for a moment and asked, "Do you know me?" Tang Gao smiled. "Do you know who my dad is?" Wei Xing was stunned. Could it be that the killer in front of him had a very good background? Could it be that His Holiness is the sister-in-law of which faction? Tang Gao stroked his chin. "There is surveillance here." Wei Xing shook his head. "No, how can I install monitoring here?" Boom. Wei Xing fell to the floor in amazement. The blood flower bloomed at the center of his eyebrows, and the divine light in his eyes completely froze. Tang Gao looked disdainful. "No monitoring, I'm afraid of a fart." Quote, "They don't know me, they don't know my family background, and they don't monitor me. Who dies if you don't die?" Tang Gao looked at the sniper rifle. There were not many bullets left, and he regretted that he had no way to get this special bullet. "I have to say that this thing is really easy to use, and it is estimated that it can be sold for a lot of money on the black market." Tang Gao walked to the desk, picked up Wei Xing's hand, put it on the computer desk to unlock the password lock, searched, and found the communication record of hiring and killing himself. The reason for killing the violent messenger of justice is very simple, that is, to show the outside world how hard its Shamrock Group's fist is, to warn others and offend the end of the Clover Group. Tang Gao nodded approvingly. Indeed. Tang Gao thought about it, directly used Wei Xing's face to pass the verification, downloaded all the technical data and cloud disk data of the Clover Group to the hard disk, directly removed the hard disk, and carried the treasure of the economic lifeline of the Clover Group into his pocket. Tang Gao looked at Wei Xing on the floor and sighed. "Then I will take this thing away, and if you don't say anything, I will agree." Wei Xing on the floor stared blankly, did not say a word, and very neatly agreed to Tang Gao's request. Seeing that he was so sensible, Tang Gao left satisfied, took the door with him intimately, and dragged the two guards in, so as not to let others disturb their family's neat sleep. In order not to let others disturb them, Tang Gao also hung a sign saying, "Busy," at the door. It is estimated that for a while and a half, no one will find that the sleep quality of these four people will be so good. Tang Gao clicked to submit the task and smiled with satisfaction. Another perfect day. Quote. Chapter 24. Tang Gao sat comfortably on the sofa, feeling that life was really beautiful. Compared with the previous 2 days, my skills are getting better and better, and completing tasks is getting easier and easier. Achieve career achievements and get extraordinary rewards. Mission extraordinary rewards. Number 1 Violent Justice Messenger Career Upgrade Mission Rewards. 1 year of cultivation rewards. Perfect evaluation. Career increase upgrades to reputation level, justice value, brutality value. The higher the above 3 items, the higher the increase obtained. Current increase. 65%. Get special reward. Punishment flame. Punishment flame. The higher the enemy's crime value, the higher the damage of the flame. Tang Gao sat up straight, hurriedly clicked on the violent and righteous personal panel, and his eyes widened, lie in the groove. Quote. Violent Justice Messenger. Cultivation. 1 year and 8 months not in the stream. Attribute increase. 65% prestige, justice value, brutality value. Combat effectiveness assessment. First order peak. What is a real strong man? The combat power that does not enter the stream is comparable to the peak of the first order. If it weren't for the previous cultivation to purchase skills, I'm afraid that the violent justice messenger would be able to wrestle with the second order wrists. Oh, he can indeed wrestle with second order wrists now, and not everyone can kill several criminals every day to practice like himself. Penal Shu is not so busy himself. The second powerful is the professional characteristic reward, the punishment flame. It's a good thing to see, and next time I will burn those Wang 8 calves. Just love this restraint skill. Tang Gaomizi looked at the harvest. I have to let the violent justice be busy, and lo and behold, you can get both the cultivation reward and the increase reward. Isn't this a two-way upgrade? Quote. Not to mention the occasional reward with this very characteristic one. I swear to heaven, Tang Gao will be a good citizen of Samsung from now on. Check that the user triggers a special task, please check. Tang Gao was surprised for a while, clicked on the light blue information box, and looked confused. Huh. Opening square bracket. Congratulations to the user for triggering the main quest, the destruction of the Clover Branch Group in Liangcheng. Mission objective. Expelling the Clover Group from Liangcheng. Introduction. Old Tang, I want to eat fish. Mission. Reward. The Shadow System will evolve into the Shadow King System. Shadow King System. The user will become the bloodline of the Shadow System and form a Shadow Army. Because the user finally opened the main quest, reward the user to increase the upper limit of one avatar. Tang Gao was dumbfounded. Huh. Quote. Trigger the main quest. Why is it triggered now? Didn't I already see that the Clover Group was not pleasing to the eye? Tang Gao didn't know why it was triggered, but he was very satisfied with this main quest. The second is to evolve into the Shadow King System and dominate the Shadow Legion. You're really afraid I'll not die fast enough. The king attribute of the Shadow System, the Shadow King System. I drip the sky. Let's be at the top of the must-kill list. However, the rewards it gives are too rich. What boy doesn't want to dominate a legion? Tie pants spicy. I want to be the Shadow King. With a wave of your hand, 10,000 armies charge. Tang Gao swallowed his saliva and finally chose to take the task. I'm sorry, I really need a legion. Quote. The final reward is to increase the cap of one doppelganger. Tang Gao hesitated and summoned the number 2 Shadow Man to come out. It is still a shadow life, but because he has not learned the disguise skill, anyone can tell that he is a shadow person. Tang Gao scratched his head, took out the Shamrock Group's USB disk, and handed it to the ignorant Shadow Man. You have worked hard. If you want to subvert the Clover Group, you have to rely on your strength. Quote. Why can Clover Group gain a foothold in Liangcheng? It is not because it monopolizes the pill industry, but also has a large proportion of production in the pharmaceutical industry. Then I need a doppelganger of the elixir major to meet the professional needs of my next mission. Killing people cannot force the Clover Group out. However, killing people and shaking the economic lifeline of the Clover Group can make them unable to stay here. It's a long plan, but not a big problem. Because I'm very patient. Tang Gao handsomely stroked his forehead. Don't panic, when I eat the information, I will disclose your elixir information. Quote. This is a big killing move, released in an important link. It can definitely give Liangcheng's Clover Group a critical hit. The second Shadow Man tilted his head, took the USB disk to the side of the shadow corner and sat down, blended with the shadow, and began to read the information in the USB disk. The alchemy system has been turned on. Users and avatars can consume cultivation to purchase material alchemy, and the refined pills can be sold to the store system. Tang Gao's eyes widened. Ah. Quote. Good fellow. Straight out good guys. Then don't I have an alchemy tool man who doesn't eat or drink for 24 hours? Clover Group, I really love you guys. From today, I'm a diehard Shamrock fan. But all your tasks, no matter how big or small, I will finish them. Guardian Bureau, General's office. General Liu looked at the intelligence information in front of him and looked confused. Are you saying that after the body disappeared, less than 300 seconds, the sniper killer was found? Liu Shoshan held the information in his hand, and his face was surprised. Yes, General, in less than 300 seconds, the killer's shotgun was found. According to the interrogation of the killer assistant we captured, the shotgun told all the information before he died, for fear of saying less. General Liu smacked his lips and put his hands on the table and hugged. Obediently, this is still a cultivator killer, and he died so sharply. Quote. Of all the cases, the cultivator case is the most difficult to solve. For example, Zhao Cheng, a mid-first order battle chi cultivator, is bent on escaping, and the Guardian Bureau has to work hard to track down the other party, and the cost of solving the case is very high. Cultivators are not mortals, they only need to run outside the city, get into the forest, learn from ancient cultivators, hunt and eat wild fruits, rely on exercises to draw energy to maintain physical state, and it is not difficult to live. And this professional killer actually died so crisply. Liu Shoshan thought of the intelligence to be reported next, and couldn't help laughing. General, the intelligence I want to talk about next, don't be afraid. General Liu leaned back tactically and smiled. I'm a general, how can I be afraid? Less than 300 seconds after the shotgun's death, the person overseeing Clover reported that the 2 guards at the door of the president's office were missing. General Liu gasped. Dead. Liu Shoshan nodded heavily. Yes, in the next 2 hours, no matter what kind of message the person below sent, there will be any news sent out in the president's office. Intel and executive couldn't help but urge the president and found that the family inside was lying neatly. By the way, after the shotgun died, we did not find the special sniper rifle he used at the scene. But we managed to find the clue. According to our spy reports, the person who said that it was Wei Xing died of a firearm murder, and they were all shot in the eyebrows. General Liu smacked his tongue. I'll drop a good one, this powerful shot is really sharp. Quote. This revenge is really heavy, for fear that I will make myself uncomfortable a second later. Liu Shoshan said with a smile. After Wei Xing died, the Liangcheng branch of Clover Group immediately blocked the entire building, and also cut off all the signals, not allowing anyone to leave the company, and even the production approval required to stop work, and a thorough inventory was required. General Liu laughed. People can kill people in less than 300 seconds, and they still want to find out if they can't do it. Quote. Your Clover Group's vigilance ability is too pulled. Liu Shoshan was also laughing, and he couldn't stop laughing. They haven't called the police yet, for fear that this matter will be known. General Liu laughed, laughing so hard that tears flowed down his eyes, covering his stomach. It's so funny, these guys really kicked the iron plate. Quote. Didi. Liu Shoshan's internal machine rang, picked up the internal machine, and signaled to General Liu to answer the phone first. General Liu suppressed his laughter and motioned for him to hurry up. Liu Shoshan answered the phone. The smile on his face did not stop, and when he heard half of it, his face changed impressively and he was stunned. General Liu felt that something was wrong, withdrew his smile, and waited for him to report. Liu Shoshan hung up the phone and was stunned. The headquarters of the Clover Group has just sent a group of experts to arrive at the Liangcheng branch with an official teleportation array. General Liu was dumbfounded. Huh. The dead is just a second-order waste of the Wei family, worthy of such a big battle. Quote. Send a team of experts, normal. But in a hurry to direct space teleportation, this cost is too outrageous, and the cost of light travel is nearly 10 million. This is completely taking money to burn the road in a hurry, for fear of wasting a second. Liu Shoshan said the second intelligence dumbfounded. Someone on the black market received a notice, saying that whoever can provide clues to kill Wei Xing's murderer will be rewarded with 5 million, and whoever can catch the murderer will be rewarded with 30 million. General Liu gasped and leaned back tactically. This is to squeeze Wei Xing's pig dry, and it can't squeeze out so much money. What's wrong with Clover headquarters? What was removed was a waste of the Wei family's branch, and it was not their lifeblood. The last 3 words, General Liu also aggravated in a mocking tone. The air slowly fell silent. Isn't the reaction of the expert group the same as the life of the Clover Group? The two looked at each other and thought of a possibility together. Liu Shoshan also didn't care about the difference in positions, and hurriedly came to General Liu's side, and together with General Liu, he turned the information to the first page. Lu Shoshan's finger and General Lu's finger fell on the same line at the same time. Wei Xing died in the president's office. General Lu gasped. Junior brother, if you kill me, what do you say is the most valuable thing in my office? Lu Shoshan smacked his tongue. Senior brother, the internet information in the computer, I will use your face and fingerprint to pass the verification and get these priceless internal information. Quote. Wei Xing is a useless waste. But the computer in his office can contain the economic lifeline information of the Liangcheng branch of the Clover Group. General Lu hurriedly took out his token. Obedient, you go and slightly change the file of Zhao Cheng's case and the Blood Fury servant's case, and delete and change all the information of that Shadow Department student and the National Character Face Cultivator. Lu Shoshan was also unambiguous, directly put the token in his pocket, and called out, Senior brother, we have to hide away next. I am afraid that when this gang dies, blood will splash on us. Quote. Can this Clover Group endure? I can't bear it. Who can accept that their own economic lifeline data is easily taken away by an outsider? I'll drop obediently. This mighty man can't wait to kill the Clover Group. Chapter 25. A calm day just needs a calm start. 8th Middle School, Elite Class, Middle Row Seats. Tang Gao stretched out a lazy waist, feeling comfortable, and there were 2 doppelgangers to brush his own tasks and brush cultivation, which felt really comfortable. After this night's struggle, his cultivation had come to 4 years and 5 months, and he was already a mature first-order early battle chi system cultivator. It is almost a sure thing to put out this level of their own and get excellent results in the college entrance examination. Violent Justice ran out to hang up last night as usual, practiced after completing the task, and gave full play to the spirit of not being afraid of hardship and difficulty in part-time work. Life does not stop, and cultivation does not stop. The second doppelganger scratched his ears and scratched his cheeks and looked at the elixir information for a night, and in the morning, he only used a little cultivation of violence and justice, got a furnace of grass and returned the pill, sold it to the store, and actually made a small profit. It seems that if it goes on like this, it won't be long before the number 2 pill doppelganger can explore the first order pill. At that time, refine some elixirs for yourself that will help your cultivation. No, it should be used first for the violent messenger of justice. After satisfying the doppelganger, it is king to give it to me. After all, I don't practice 24 hours a day. Lu Ren carried the black circles to copy the homework, and kept yawning. When will this damn college entrance examination come, and if it doesn't come again, I'm afraid I'll die suddenly. Tang Gao looked at him confused. What's wrong? What time did you sleep last night? Lu Renqiang raised his spirits and continued to copy his homework, staring at the dark circles, and his eyes were bloodshot. Last night, my father came back, knowing that I had never won you once in the martial arts test, and forced me to practice with him until 2 o'clock in the morning. I was beaten for 3 hours. I slept for 5 hours and was forced to crawl over to class. Tang Gao was extremely envious. Your father is so good to you. I envy you for having such a rich and capable father. Lu Ren was indignant. What if this is for you? Tang Gao sighed, gestured to Lu Bu's posture, and raised his tone. Old thief, I am incompatible with you. Lu Ren was even more sad and indignant, cursing and copying homework, but I can't beat him. Tang Gao rolled his eyes and slapped him on the back of the head. Hurry up and copy yours. Don't let the penalty stand today. Lu Ren was stunned, his eyes were sluggish, and the corners of his mouth were foaming. When the copy is finished, I'll talk to you about what I heard last night. Lu Ren quickly wrote, quickly copied the homework, handed it to the group leader, wiped the foam at the corner of his mouth, and his eyes with dark circles shone. Brother Tang, let me tell you, a big event is going to happen in Liangcheng. Tang Gao opened the text test book and browsed, and said lightly, I always feel that sooner or later you will have to sell your parents clean. Lu Ren rolled his eyes. No, it's the one who died some time ago, and the Guardian Bureau took out hundreds of thousands to reward the hero of the bloody servant case. It's a pity, the hero who protected us actually died, and he must be the poisonous hand of the Clover Group. When the students at the front and back tables heard this, they followed suit. Yes, you know that too. It's a pity, that uncle died on the Yangfu Street side, and the Clover Group is too hateful. Quote. It's a pity that the uncle with the face of the national character face, such a good strength, but died in this kind of secret calculation. Yes, I saw the sound yesterday, that uncle with a national character face will come out every day to do good deeds without asking for anything in return, and leave directly. What a good person. Tang Gao looked sideways, slightly surprised. You all know this person? Lu Ren's eyes widened and he exclaimed, Brother Tang, this is the most popular hero with a local moving voice, the most popular slow hand. Those videos on Yangfu Street yesterday were all crazy. Don't you look at your phone? Tang Gao was silent for a long time. Last night, I made 4 sets of papers for the literary test and played 3 sets of martial arts test tricks. Sorry to interrupt, we're too playful. Everyone was invisibly shocked by Tang Gao's diligent atmosphere, but they quickly got together and began to chat about the violent messenger of justice. Especially Lu Ren, most regretted this kind of heroic hero and hero killed on the street. Tang Gao listened to their praise, and only then gradually realized that although it had only been 2 or 3 days, he had already had a certain influence on the city. A cultivator who was only a first-order cultivator was already a fallen hero in the eyes of the residents of this city. Tang Gao picked up the book and stood up, covering his face, the corners of his mouth slightly raised, and felt that this feeling was not bad. Of course, the violent messenger of justice will not die, he will be resurrected, and continue to guard the peace and joy of Liangcheng for him. Work. The day's classes began again, and the busyness from morning to evening was the main theme of the boring senior year, and between classes, everyone was too tired to talk, lying on the table to rest and prepare for the next class. Throughout the day, Tang Gao also watched speechlessly as dangerous prompts kept popping up on the hang-up panel. As long as the violent justice messenger emerges in Liangcheng, once discovered by the people of the Clover Group, he will be hunted down and killed at any cost, and even some black market killers, mercenaries, etc. will participate. It has always been so passive, but it is not Tang Gao's style. Tang Gao looked at the time. There were still 2 hours before the end of school, and entered an instruction to the alchemist doppelganger. List the prescriptions you have learned to optimize. Alchemist. Grass return pill, vigorous pill, vajra pill. The alchemist. Doppelganger, after a whole day of hard work, has learned several pills, and under the blessing of the positive cycle of alchemy benefits, he has optimized 3 or 4 of them. The corners of Tang Gao's mouth raised slightly, and he entered the next instruction. Find an internet cafe and make all the basic information of Danfang, as well as the information of the Clover Group that we don't use. Obey the order, Honorable. Close black lens bracket. In the office of the General of the Guardian Bureau, General Lu is playing with his mobile phone with Erlang's legs up, and the gun battle game is particularly cheerful. Boom. General Lu was slightly regretful, pulled the grenade to himself, and stuffed the phone back into his pocket. Come in, what's wrong? Lu Shoshan hurriedly rushed in, holding a bunch of information in his arms, his face shocked. Something has happened, General. General Lu looked disdainful, picked up the teacup and took a sip of water. With me here, what big thing can happen in Liangcheng? That mysterious power shot again. Lu Shoshan swallowed, put the pile of information in his arms on the table, and his voice trembled. Someone published the transaction records of the Clover Group, the detailed information of the production materials, and a small amount of basic Danfang information to major forums and online platforms. Poof. General Lu directly sprayed the tea on Lu Shoshan's face. Lu Shoshan wiped the tea on his face and pointed to the documents on the table. Now, the whole network can see the internal information of Clover Group. General Lu was dumbfounded, picked up the documents on the table and flipped through them, and his voice was shocked. Such a precious thing, he actually sent it out for free. Quote. Medical information, a small amount of Danfang information, a large number of important internal records, detailed records and introductions of production materials. Boy. Lu Shoshan took a tissue to wipe the tea on his face and sighed. Right now, the Clover Group is going to explode. They never imagined that someone would directly send it out for free. Quote. The best policy, these materials are taken to blackmail the Clover Group in exchange for a large number of cultivation resources and rare resources. Taking this information to trade with the opponents and allies of the Clover Group is also the way to get rich. The next strategy, trading this information on the black market, the risk is extremely high, but the harvest is also not bad. But this great power directly chose to distribute it for free and enjoy it with the people. Now individuals, as long as they can buy production equipment and medical materials, can try to produce medical materials and alchemy. General Liu put down the documents and gasped. The Taxation Bureau, the Supervision Bureau. Did they do it? These things are released and put together casually, which is enough for us to go through the legal process against Clover Group. Liu Shoshan smacked his tongue. You don't need to order. They are now hunting dogs that smell the smell, one by one running happily than the other, for fear that the soup will not be able to drink. Quote, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.